Hello everyone! So I have already done a Pinterest video, but I felt as if because of the video's nature, I needed to have a blog to benefit from that one. I've made like a two-part series, so the first video that I've made will actually be part 2, if that makes sense. So if it's up, I'll link it below, go and watch it. But I'm just going to really run through a really basic way to get started with Pinterest and Etsy. So the basics of Pinterest is essentially, how I look at it, is it's like a mood board for your ideal customer. So when you first start, you should have an idea as to who your target market is. Now, if you want me to link the workbook below, I can. So if you go to the description, you have my 30 Days to a Kickbutt Etsy Shop workbook, and that'll really walk you through this process. So reference back to your notes with your target customer in mind. So my target customer is quite girly, of a certain age where they're thinking about getting married or buying their first home, or, well, as you can see by this board here, basically big kids. So what I've done is, over the course of the 2 years I think I've had my Pinterest now, I've made lots and lots of boards with different aesthetics for the ideal target customer that I would think of when I think of my own shop or my brand. So I've got travel bits and bobs here, graduation cap ideas, basically anything that you can think of straight off the bat that you know that your customer would like. So naturally your products would fit into that. So Bexy Boo 88, who asked this question, she sells pet items. So her target market would be pet mums, so dog mums, cat mums, anything like that. And I happen to be a dog mum myself, so I know exactly how they can tug at your heartstrings and you end up spending so much money on them. So for a shop like that, I would especially recommend making lots and lots of different pet boards. So make one with really cute puppies, one with really cute older dogs, one with dog training tips, one with dog potty training tips, and head up here. So let's just go dog potty training. Now, if you've watched the second part of this series, I go into how you can use blogging to essentially make more sales. So something like this would be fantastic. All of these keywords up here would be fantastic for that. But anyway, so you've got all of these keywords up here. Let me just grab my trusty nude pad. So definitely make a note of all of these keywords. I'm just going to do a few just so you get the hang of it. And essentially what you have to do is make all these boards for your target customer. So when you end up having all of these boards, and I would recommend making at least sort of 4 or 5, putting 30 pins in there, just so when someone clicks onto your Pinterest profile, they kind of get an idea of the kind of aesthetic that you're going for. Go onto the Google Chrome store. Now, I assume that you're using Chrome. Chrome is a really fantastic browser. It will definitely serve you fantastically in the long run. So just do a quick Google search for Chrome extensions. Download this one, which is a Pinterest Save button. All right. So make sure that you've got that. And then what you want to do is go back to your Pinterest. And obviously I've got all these boards here, so I'm trying to imagine what yours would be like. So say you've got dog training tips, potty training, cute dogs, yada, yada. You have to save your products into the boards that most match what that customer would be looking for. So what I mean by that is, if your customer is looking at potty training tips, or the person on Pinterest is looking for potty training tips, they most likely have a young puppy at home. So it would make most sense for you to pin your puppy products, or your products that can be used for younger dogs, or if someone's just brought a dog home or whatever. And it's best to pin those products in that board, because that naturally makes sense. You know that people that are going into that board are someone who has a puppy at home or knows someone who has a puppy at home. So go onto your Etsy. Now I've just gone onto mine because unfortunately I have only the one Etsy shop, so I can't exactly show you what I mean. So for argument's sake, let's pretend that this is a puppy locket. I mean, it's not, but let's just pretend. So you head up here, which you can't actually see right now, but it's on the taskbar. And it's this extension that we've saved. So it'll be on the top right hand side, so it's just out of the reach of the screen that you can see right now, but it's definitely up there. Pop off. So you click that and it comes up with all of this gumph here. So you click the picture that you want to save. So obviously you want to click the most aesthetically pleasing picture. So you go onto here. And with the keywords that you've found, so obviously these don't make any sense for this particular product, but definitely for the board, definitely for the pinned description, it's good to kind of get an idea of the kind of keywords that would really benefit your description. So let's just pretend that, let's just find one. Let's just pretend that this board here is your puppy training tips board. So that's now saved to that board, okay? So you can click there to go and see it now. It crashes. Okay, that's fantastic. Well, the whole idea is that it's supposed to pop up with the charms board. Here we go. And it's supposed to end up being here. But anyway, that wasn't a very good thing to do. What was it, Chrome? Thanks for that. So it will end up being here, and in theory this board should be, this is a very old board, so please don't take any notice of my really rubbish. In fact, interesting fact, this was actually made by a Pinterest expert. I'm not going to name any names, but this board, and now I know a lot more about Pinterest, I'm actually looking back at this now and thinking, oh my gosh, this was not done very well. Anyway, so in theory, that pin will now be on that board full of potty training tips, and then you're literally sprinkling your products throughout that board. So don't spam the board with all of your products if you think that all of your products could go in a board for puppy training tips. Just make sure that you pick your best ones and you sprinkle them throughout that board, because obviously people are going on there to have helpful information, not to be sold to. So just make sure that, as a general rule, 25% of my pins are product pins, but they're really niche product pins. So they're product pins that I know that customers would like. So to go even deeper with this, another example is on my, I have a few wedding dress boards, but let's just find anything with wedding dresses. Anything. There we go. So on my vintage style wedding dress board, I make sure that I pin any piece of jewellery that I have that could be considered vintage, because I know that vintage or maybe slightly boho brides will be going on this board here, and then they will come across my products and away you go. You have a targeted customer that's going to click onto your Etsy shop. Another layer of this is that you can also head to Canva. Now, this is the example that I just made for the other video, but if you type in Pinterest graphic on Canva, let me just go back just to show you, Pinterest graphic, it will pop up with the perfect size graphic here. So if you want another layer of this, and I do recommend this, it can be quite time consuming, but it is quite a good thing to kind of do. The sort of thing that I would recommend would be to make like a border for your product. So your product will go here, your Etsy shop name will go here, you can probably get rid of anything, or these two bits and bobs here, this as well, and just essentially make a branded pin, as opposed to just pinning products, a branded pin for your Pinterest. Now, you can't just go onto Etsy and use the little extension to save it, because obviously it won't give you a chance to input the new graphic, but you can download this. So let's just pretend that one of your products is here. You can then download this as a PNG. Obviously I've got a premium image in there somewhere, but you can just download this And then you can go directly to Pinterest. Where are you? You can create a pin, you can add your title in, drag and drop the image or graphic, make a keyword, so using the keywords from the original search. Don't keyword spam. I did go through this in the second part of the video when it went into the blog pin, but don't keyword spam your description. Make sure it's actually describing what your pin is about, but just sprinkle the odd 1 or 2 keywords in there because that will sound a lot more natural. It won't be spammy, it won't be keyword stuffed. And just essentially pop your destination link in here, pop your graphic in there, pop your title in there, pop your description in there. If you get stuck as well, you can open up another tab with Pinterest in. So let me just do that now so you can see what I mean. I did not spell that correctly, did I? Not even close, Steph. Not even close. Right, there we go. There we go. And we are on there. So let's go onto here. Puppy. Oh no, I could spend all day on here. Okay, I'm not because I'm doing a video. But so you've got all these wonderful keywords up here. You've got your mighty handy notepad here to write down the keywords that are relevant to your product pin. Then you come over here. Obviously, as I've said, graphic, title, description, link. I would always schedule it at a better date. Now, in the other video, I mentioned that Fridays, Saturdays are a bit of a no-go. I wouldn't pin anything on there unless it works for your store, of course. Sunday mornings about 10 o'clock are great because people are usually in bed just scrolling on Pinterest, which is usually what I do. So as a general rule, Monday to Thursday, sort of, let's go for, no, can't do that. Let's go for Tuesday and let's go. Usually I do it any time from about 9:30 onwards, and select your board. Don't forget to do that. Obviously you would type in your board that you made here, and then you click the publish button. So hopefully that helped you. It's a very basic way to kind of get your Pinterest off the ground, and I have to say I have hired a few social media people in the past before I really delved in deep and tried to learn it myself and took courses and things. And I have to say, nothing substitutes you doing it yourself because you're the only person that really cares that much about your business, about your brand. And I mean, I've yet to find a really, really fantastic social media manager myself. I've hired about 7 or 8 over the past 3 years, and honestly the results that I've got now, well, as you can see here, the results that I've got now are fantastic. On my Etsy shop, at least I'd say 35% of my traffic that I get is from Pinterest. My conversion rate is quite high, so therefore I get sales from Pinterest guaranteed, because if my conversion rate is high, targeted visitors are coming in from Pinterest, it will turn into sales. So I hope that helped you. A general rundown is make sure, or a general rule is definitely make sure that your boards are of interest to your target customer, because if they're not, you'll save your products to them and no one will view them because they will click onto your pet themed or nursery, baby themed print shop or Pinterest page, and they will be immediately repelled. So please make sure that you have a good idea of who your target market is. Again, I will link the workbook in the description below. I can't speak today, I'm very sorry. And yeah, really the biggest step here is to make sure you have a good handle on who your target customer is. So I hope this was helpful. If you want any more in-depth Pinterest videos, please pop it in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you very much to BexyBoo88 for posting this question. All right, have a wonderful day. Bye.